Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. I hope wherever you are in YouTube land, you are happy, you and yours are happy and healthy and safe and well, and keeping hope alive and uninviting the Trump voters in your life from Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays, your birthdays, your anniversaries, and everything else, because they decided to vote with their morals and not with your and everybody else's best interests at heart. Yes, I did say that out loud, so there. I'm going to have my coffee now. Anyway, so I wanted to do a collective October's Ominous Occasions thank you. So this year, Moon, Serpent, and Bone had 5, not 1, not 2, but 5 October's Ominous Occasions, even though the last one was on November 1st, but I digress. Anyway, so I was originally scheduled to be at 3. I wound up being scheduled at 2. So first we have Maléfique, the Night of Spirits, or rather, a Night of Spirits. It was in collaboration with Moon, Serpent, and Bone and the Light Club Curiosity Shop of Warwick, New York. My first reading of the night was a phone reading, so people did avail themselves of virtual sessions with me, and I am most thankful. It was on Friday, October 11th, 2024, from 6 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. It was my first time in Warwick. It was my first time, it was actually a lot of first times that day. Staying in Warwick, being in Warwick, New York, staying in a hotel in Warwick, New York, which seems to be the only hotel in Warwick, New York, which was very nice, very comfortable. I'm big on comfy beds. I'm also big on, like, I don't have to have certain amenities, like if there's no microwave, what do I care? But the refrigerator helps. The comfy bed is an absolute must. And convenience to where I need to get a bus or a train. So huge convenience as far as mass transit, which made me very happy, gave me peace of mind. And there is a restaurant right there. So yeah. And roughly a block and a half away from the Light Club Curiosity Shop, there was this phenomenal cafe. Oh my goddess, I love this cafe. It's called Cafe I Dolci. It was so beautiful. The service was excellent. The coffees, the beverages were outstanding. There was one employee who was making these burritos, and I kept getting distracted looking at him because what he was making looked like art. I mean, the fact that he looked rather humpy and tight in his pants and shirt was another distraction, plus the beard, you know. Anyway, so I had a great time. Very happy with the number of clients with whom I met. Very happy that one of the other readers had a reading with me, which honored me greatly. And one of the vendors had a reading with me as well. Which also made me happy because I had forgotten that she'd had a reading with me at a previous Moon, Serpent, and Bone market. I'm going to tell y'all a secret. So if I only do one reading for an individual, I almost never remember the person. Like, if that person contacts me a second time, then I will remember that person. But if somebody who's only had a reading with me once, especially at a public venue like a Moon, Serpent, and Bone night market, will not remember them to save my life. If it is somebody that has an energy healing treatment with me, especially a goddess energy healing treatment with me, or a metaphysical consultation, I remember them all the time. Like, I may not remember their name, but the sound of their voice, their face, everything. So it was a beautiful night, very happy. I was also very happy that one of the other readers gave me a ride back to the hotel, which was a huge convenience. And I loved it was my first time going to a metaphysical supply store that had 2 levels. I never knew that such a thing existed, quite frankly. There was the main level, which had sections for candles, oils, books, decks, journals, jewelry. And then there was an upper level, which is primarily used for classes and workshops. Just very beautiful, very beautiful. And I loved the stairs. I loved everything about it. The convenience of the location. It was roughly a 5-minute bus ride from the hotel. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on and on. But I was very happy with the whole night, the whole experience. And there is a possibility that I will be back next month. I don't know yet because I requested to be put on the waiting list. So if a spot becomes available, I might be back. If not, I'll be back when I'm back, whenever that may be. So thank you to Amy. Thank you to the co-owners and co-founders of the Light Club Curiosity Shop. Thank you to all the vendors. Thank you to all the readers. Thank you to all the staff and volunteers. And thank you to the other vendor who had a reading with me, and it was an exchange. I almost never do exchanges, but for her stuff, oh yeah, it was like no brainer. I will happily give you a reading in exchange for your merchandise because your merchandise is the shit. And then the following Friday was the first annual haunting at the Sing Sing Kill Greenway in Ossining, New York. Ossining, New York is well known for a variety of reasons. One of them because it has a functional, meaning an active prison. Ossining has a prison. It's more commonly known as Sing Sing, but they did change the name a few years ago, but I don't remember what it is now. I'll include a Wikipedia entry in the description box. But absolutely, I would have loved to have been there. I was scheduled to be there, and I wasn't there because for the first time in more than 30 years, I had a head cold. It was the most bizarre thing because I remember the morning, 2 days before, which was the day before I was going to leave for Ossining. I distinctly remember I called. I remember I had a therapy appointment that Wednesday. That was Wednesday, October 16th, and I remember I had a scratchy throat that morning. Now it just so happens there's a draft in my bedroom even when the windows are closed, so I thought it'll be fine by later. So after my therapy appointment, I took a nap, and I felt bad. Like I didn't feel great. I didn't feel lousy. I just felt like something was majorly off. Following morning, I woke up the day that I was going to leave for Ossining. I had no voice. I could barely move. I'm like, oh, okay. So it was the first time in the almost 5 years that I've worked with Amy, the Living Creatrix Goddess of the Moon, Serpent, and Bone night markets, that I had to cancel. I mean, that never happened before. It was just one of those things. I'm like, there's no way. And I really did not feel comfortable traveling by myself because I didn't know if I was going to faint, if I was going to throw up, if I was going to do anything. I felt that bad. I'm like, no. Even if COVID-19 did not exist, I would have still stayed home. And most of you know that historically, if I don't keep an appointment, it's because I'm dead. That's always been my response. Some people feel very uncomfortable when I say that, but that's the truth as far as I'm concerned. If I'm not there, either I died or I'm so sick that going would be absolutely the worst thing I could do, and then some. So as much as I would have loved to have been there, I wasn't able to do it. I wasn't able to make it. It actually took me a while to recover. And it actually shocked me that I recovered so fully that I was not only able to go to, I was not only able to help Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, help a mutual friend of ours move from her previous apartment to her now current apartment, but I was able to make the official Moon, Serpent, and Bone 6th annual Samhain Night Market, which was at City Winery Hudson Valley in Montgomery, New York. I didn't do any virtual sessions that night, which is fine. But It was also on Friday, October 25th, 2024. Now, the reason why October 25th is significant for me is because that was my late maternal grandmother's birthday. And it was very interesting because I had found a deck that I've been calling the mediumship deck, my mediumship deck, for years. It's a tarot deck. It is not a mediumship deck, but it was given to me. Well, actually, it was the person who owned it died, and I connected with her spirit after she died, and she had assisted me with the first few readings that I did with that deck, and then it became clear to me as this Moon, Serpent, and Bone night market was approaching that she would not be assisting me, but my late maternal grandmother would be assisting me, and other deceased loved ones would be assisting me as well. So now I have additional deceased loved ones, family and non-family, or rather family of blood by blood and family by choice, that are assisting me when I conduct a mediumship reading, whether or not I'm using that particular deck. And there are several goddesses, including Hecate, who has been like, why didn't you ask me for help, Robert? Are you going to ask me for help, or do I need to smack you, Robert? You know what? I think I need to smack you, Robert. So that was that. Anyway, so that being that, it was a lovely evening. I was in a different area. All the readers were in a different area than last year's market, which was a nice change of pace. My only concern was that it was farther away from the entrance, and unless you knew where to go or where to look, you didn't necessarily see them. And there were other issues that presented themselves, and I'm like, okay, we'll see how this goes. But it was definitely a very good event. There was a lot of great energy floating around. There was some pockets of not so great energy floating around, and I was just like, that doesn't usually happen here. So part of me was like, how do I deal with this? And then as I'm talking, I'm like, well, I didn't need to deal with it. I could have just given it to the spirits, but there's a part of me that's like, I gotta do something, I think they call that a hero complex. I don't know. So at this point, I will not be back. Well, there's nothing happening this month. There are no Moon, Serpent, and Bone night markets for the rest of November. November 1st was the Moon, Serpent, and Bone first annual Dia de los Muertos night market, which I absolutely look forward to being at next year, because Mexican culture, Mexican food, Mexican men are favorites of mine. And I have become a lot closer to Santísima Muerte, Santa Muerte, Holy Death. And there are other folk saints and other spirits out of Mexico that have become, that have given me opportunities to connect with them. I'm a proud polytheist. I'm more than happy to work with multiple deities. It's very natural for me because not every deity specializes in X. And I also resonate with Santa Muerte because Santa Muerte doesn't care who you are. She doesn't care if you're male or female, rich or poor, cisgender, transgender, non-binary. She doesn't care if you're white or non-white. She doesn't care if you're black or brown. She doesn't care if you're Mexican or non-Mexican. She doesn't care if you're rich or poor. All she cares about is, do you have a clear mind and a pure heart? That's what she cares about. That's her priority. She'll listen to you if you have a clear mind and a pure heart. Technically, every deity does, but I digress. So thank you to Amy, the Living Creatrix Goddess of the Moon, Serpent, and Bone night markets, for her professionalism, her generosity, her great energy, for conducting a cleansing and blessing circle, an optional cleansing and blessing circle, prior to the beginning of each market. Thank you to all the fellow readers, the fellow witches, the fellow fringe folk, the wonderful vendors, the fantastic vendors, the venerated vendors, Thank you to all the staff and volunteers at all these public venues, and of course, an extra big and beautiful thank you to all the individuals who availed themselves of my psychic services, my energy healing services, and the other services that I offer at a Moon, Serpent, and Bone night market. And of course, thank you to all of you in YouTube land for all the likes, all the comments, all the shares, and all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And thank you as well to all the individuals who have already scheduled their sessions. An extra big and beautiful and bountiful and beauteous thank you to those of you as well. And although at this point my availability for the rest of November is very small, I have a lot more availability in December 2024. So if the spirits are harassing you to avail yourselves of the services that I offer, you know what to do. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, stay hydrated, stay in tune with your intuition, and of course, stay tuned for the next video.